ipXchange. We're here at SENSOR+TEST 2025, and we're talking to a company who is revolutionizing what it means to have an IoT infrastructure. Back in the day, maybe you'd have nodes talking up to the cloud or something, but this is all about peer-to-peer connection, and they're revolutionizing the game. Today, I've got Jeremy and Ralph here to explain to me what it is that Peeriot actually does for the IoT world and how they're completely shaping what IoT may look like into the future. So why don't we go back from the beginning? What does IoT traditionally look like?
So normally, you collect the data locally and then transfer the data into the cloud to process it there.
Okay.
And that means it is very complicated, time-consuming, expensive, and hindering a lot of innovations.
Okay, so what does your new model look like?
So the idea here is that it's giving ownership back into the hands of the people who own the devices, who own all the sensors.
Right. So why would you want to do that? I mean, the cloud's great. You can just take data from it anytime you want. Why would I want to leave something down on the ground potentially?
So it's really just a question of getting not only the data, but control as well. It's really an important step to be able to understand where everything comes from, how it works, how it interacts, increasing compatibility, and just really giving it back.
Okay.
So data sovereignty is a very big issue for a lot of customers at the moment. They don't want to get off the control of the data. They want to control it by themselves.
Exactly right.
And want to keep it in their factory floor, in their data center. And this is a big problem with current solutions that are out there.
Okay, so it's not about just simplifying what the infrastructure looks like. It's about giving security back to the people who own the data. Sometimes encryption isn't enough if you're dealing with very sensitive sources of data. This is a solution where you can have it all down on the ground with you.
Exactly.
Right, okay. So let's actually talk about your solution. Is it a software solution? Is it a hardware solution? What have we got?
It is a software solution. It is a software stack you can use and install on any machine. You can install it on a small embedded device. You can install it on an edge computer, a Raspberry Pi, or an industrial style edge computer. You can install it on a notebook, on a server. And this infrastructure is then used for the processing of the complete applications. And in the end, it is offering the complete convenience of a classical cloud solution, but completely locally managed in your environment.
Okay, so I want to know about devices. You say any device. Could you list maybe a couple of, is it microcontrollers, microprocessors you can use? Anything common that most engineers today would be familiar with that they can run your software on?
Yeah, exactly. So one of the actual main key things that we were going for was not to try to revolutionize the sensor market, for example. Like there exists a great selection of things already. So we were like, why not just make use of those? So we are what I would class as kind of sensor agnostic, transport agnostic. So we can go through anything, understand anything, and we make use of everything. So one of the big common ones that we reach for, just simply because it's convenient, is a Raspberry Pi. It's everywhere. They're very cheap, very nice. Exactly. And they're very, very useful to just be able to bring up a couple that you buy 3, 5, 10 and just start using them however you want.
Okay, so let's talk about getting the data off the node to begin with. Is it a Bluetooth protocol that you run off? Is it a LoRa protocol? How does it work?
So we actually can use a bunch of protocols. So right now we're using Wi-Fi and Bluetooth as one of our main kind of ones, because simply it's one of the most convenient ones to explain. But we have our eye, of course, on LoRa and Zigbee. We also have narrowband as well on our eyes, LTE, GSM. Like we're really interested in exploring all of these just simply because they open up a world of possibilities.
Okay, I'm going to put my heart out here to the embedded engineers. Our job is difficult. Why would I want to add another layer of potentially heartbreak and stress into my designs? What's actually in it for me?
So exactly, it's a good question. So it's a very hands-off approach. So the idea is that we remove a lot of the cost and complexity of extra solutions that the cloud brings in. Your devices are yours, you control them however you want, and on top of that you get to control your data however you desire.
Amazing, sweet. Why don't we go have a look at a demo?
Just to demonstrate like how simple it is, this is essentially all that you need to set up the complete system. So as an example of a sensor actor, we have 2 Nordic boards here, which basically act as distributed devices. This one has like a button, a buzzer, this one has a button and so on. Like what you need as a network is something like this, like a laptop, a Raspberry. And this is already a small network which would run a cloud for you. You just start a binary on each of these. And then with that, what you see over there is our application center. This is your access point to the whole system. And with that, you seamlessly connect to the sensors. You have a super nice drag and drop environment where you can define the behavior of your application in Python, in WASM, and with one click you can run an application and get basically your things to work together. And that is pretty much it.